Well, hi, kids. Pastor Al here. Thanks for joining me on, well, what's probably a New Year's Day. Hope you're having a good time. You don't get to watch the Rose Bowl today or the Rose Parade. You got to wait till tomorrow. Good for them. They don't do the parade or their football game on a Sunday because that was a church-going community when they started this. So that's pretty cool. So, hey, I want to talk a little bit about Christmas again, but not so much Christmas, but what you got on Christmas, your presents. I'm going to make a bet. I will bet you that almost all of you could not sit down right now and write a list of all the Christmas presents you got. In fact, I'll bet you have forgotten a lot of them already after just a week. You couldn't tell me what you got. Not that they weren't cool, not that you didn't like them, but that, things like that kind of come and go. And I have to admit to you, I am just as bad as anyone. From one year to the next, I can never remember not only what I got, but what I gave to people. And fortunately for me, my wonderful wife is smart and keeps a list of all the presents we give. Because if it wasn't for that fact, I would probably be giving people the same thing every year. What I want to suggest to you is that you're going to get and give a lot of things in your life. But there's one thing that you should really focus on more than anything else. And that's the thing you should be really excited about. And that's a gift that gives you back, or a gift that really gives something to somebody else that's wonderful. Let me tell you a little story. No dog video today, but some dog pictures. Because the very best gift I ever gave anybody, clearly, was a dog. And if you ask her, she'd tell you exactly the same thing. The best gift in her life she's ever had was a dog. It was my daughter, Ariana. Well, I guess it was about 13, 14, 15 years ago. She was actually very sick. She was having to drop in and out of school because she had uncontrolled stomach pain that made it unable for her to concentrate or even sometimes get out of bed. And she was home alone a lot, all by herself. And there's one thing she wanted more than anything else, and had wanted really for a long time, and that was her own dog. And she had a very particular dog in mind. She wanted a Pembroke Welsh Corgi or a Cardigan Welsh Corgi, but they had to be what we call red and white, and it had to have a tail. We finally found one for her. And we found a lady who was having a litter of puppies here locally. She actually went out and picked out her puppy when he was 2 days old. Because with Corgi puppies, they typically cut their tails off, and she wanted a tail. And then a couple times every week for the next 8 weeks, she would go out and visit him and watched him grow and ignored all the other dogs and all the other puppies and just bonded with him. And I want to tell you that I've seen a lot of people with dogs all my life. I've owned dogs all my life. I have never seen a pair, a human and a dog, that had a closer, stronger bond than these two. It started when he was just the tiniest puppy. Even when he was young, he would go see her tennis matches when she was able to be in school. He would sit on top of her suitcase when she thought she was going to go somewhere, hoping to go with him. She'd hang out with him. He'd hang out with her, rather, particularly when she had food. He would go camping with us. He would go see amazing national parks with us. He would get rides around in a bike with us. He would go to the seashore. He'd sit in a hammock. He would ride in a backpack. You know what made him such a great gift is that he really, really, really loved my daughter. And my daughter really, really, really loved him. Now here's a very simple message for you this morning. A lot of the things we get in life are really cool. But the most important things that we need to focus on are the things that love us back. Most of the toys you got, most of the stuff you got at Christmas may be cool, but it's never going to love you back. Find the things in life that are going to love you back. Sometimes they might be a dog or another kind of a pet. Mostly they'll be people. And the one wonderful thing about Christmas is that we realize that, well, God loves us. In fact, it's not a question of God loving us back. The Bible tells us that it's not that we loved God, but that God loved us first and sent his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, so that we would know that for sure. So throughout life, there may be a lot of cool things that are coming to your life, and that's great. but focus on the things that you can love and the things that will love you back. And you're never going to go wrong. Have a wonderful new year, and I'll see you next week. Bye.